Will the member for Newtown?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My question is to the Premier. Given the people of New South Wales have been experiencing record-breaking heat waves and flash flooding, and given what gets measured gets done, will you consider legislating to ensure that New South Wales meets the aspirational target set by your government of zero net emissions by 2050?
Thank you. Will the Premier?
I thank the member for her question and also want to acknowledge her commitment to all matters relating to the environment. Madam Speaker, I'm pleased to say that the New South Wales Government of course supports the Commonwealth's renewable energy target, and our renewable energy action plan is helping to guide our renewable energy development in this state. And last week we did see a record demand for electricity in New South Wales under very trying conditions, heatwave conditions, and we met that demand by using every source of electricity, and that's the critical issue, every source, whether it's coal, whether it's gas, whether it's hydro, whether it's wind, and whether it's solar. And that's the key thing, to use every source of energy available. And I wish to stress that our future electricity needs will be met by a smart combination of all of these elements. And interestingly, we know those opposite have no credibility on the issue, because last week, during extremely trying times, we saw the Leader of the Opposition suggesting we should reopen a mothballed coal-fired power station. That was what he suggested. But then we also know the member for Blacktown actually wanted to close down the coal industry. So we know there's a huge levels of disagreement on those opposite. But also, I wish to stress that New South Wales has adopted long-term objectives to make us more resilient to a changing climate and achieve those net zero emissions by 2050, which is the issue raised by the member. And these objectives are completely consistent with the Commonwealth's commitment to the Paris Agreement, as the member would know. But also, our total climate change policy framework was released in November 2016, and it included things like a $500 million environment funding package for Climate Change Fund. It included up to $200 million to be invested in accelerating advanced energy, using renewables, storage, smart meters and other things, and a range of other things. So I hope that addresses the members' questions in relation to our commitments. But I do also want to stress that last week our state did come under stress because of the enormous heat wave and the pressure it put on our energy sources. I'm really pleased the way in which we managed to come through that challenge. But I was very disappointed by the comments made by the Leader of the Opposition. When people were feeling stress and we were getting out public announcements about what to do to make sure we maintained all our energy levels, he came out and said, all of these problems are because the Liberals have privatised electricity. But Madam Speaker, surely he wasn't talking about poles and wires, that's distribution. And if he was talking about the gen traders, we all know who started that privatisation, the New South Wales Labor Party. So those opposite have no credibility on any issues regarding energy or the environment. And I say to the member, thank you for your question. We are committed to making sure we have a balanced approach to this state's energy needs, and we'll continue to do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Will the member